old school gym bros swear on barbell back squats and S-tier exercise which helps develop meaty quads, bulbous adductors and a huge gear. Back squat, V squat, G squat. I mean, Roger's squat gets loads of love and admiration. But pendulum squat might be the most underrated exercise for enormous leg girth and meaty thick bakeries.
He had the thickest ass in the whole school.
Today let's have fun comparing the gym bros favorite, the barbell back squat, with the science-based nerds pleasure point, the pendulum squat.
Okay.
The invention of the barbell back squat cannot be attributed to a single person. Instead, the movement evolved organically from deep knee bends practiced by ancient athletes. The heavy squat was pioneered and popularized in the 1920s by the German strongman and wrestler Henry Milo Steinbock. There isn't a single inventor of the squat rack. Instead, it evolved out of necessity in the 1920s and the 1930s as heavy squatting grew in popularity. Mark H. Berry, the first US Olympic weightlifting coach, is credited with creating one of the earliest rack designs so his athletes could hold and load weight without fatiguing their shoulders. Commercialized squat stands and racks were mass marketed in the 1940s and beyond by Bob Hoffman's company. Short gym baddies love squats, but tall gym daddies despise squatting cuts.
My back is broken.
Look at this thick baddie squatting with pitch perfect form. She got short femurs and a long torso. When we analyze her closely, it's evident that the torque on the knee joint is more than the torque on the hip joint. But why? It's because of the goddamn physics. Torque equals force into moment arm, and this explains the nuances. For her, a barbell back squat hammers squats a lot more than glutes and hammies, even though she is flaunting a full-fledged bakery. There is also a lesser degree of posterior pelvic tilt and hence less involvement of the spinal erectors because posterior pelvic tilt mechanically lengthens and stretches the spinal erector muscles.
Back, somewhere. Spike.
Now let's address the long femur gang, and of course they have shorter torsos and long ass femurs, and their squat mimics more of a hinge, an awkward good morning like exercise. Just look at this clip. The torque on the hip joint is massive, intensely loading the glutes. Also, there is a greater degree of posterior pelvic tilt, Brobdingnagian, loading the shit out of the spinal erectors, always keeping the back sore as fuck.
What's worse than breakup?
Back pain.
More like a cake builder and less core gains for the long femur gang, and a heel elevation can definitely help. For thick baddies with anterior pelvic tilt, a deep squat can help drive more posterior pelvic tilt to loosen up the musculature in the lower back, which chronically remains sore in the APT folks. A guy with posterior pelvic tilt needs to reduce the range of motion on squats. To be specific, he needs to squat at a range of motion which does not drive posterior pelvic tilt. In simple words, a partial barbell back squat. For a person who has left AIC pattern should give barbell back squatting some rest and switch to unilateral movements like the dumbbell split squat. For the left leg, one needs to perform a dumbbell split squat with a contralateral load. The whole left foot should be elevated on a stepper or a frickin' wooden box. For the right leg, a Bulgarian split squat with an ipsilateral load is ideal. For the nuances and science of the above, I shall address it in the future videos. When you elevate your heels during a squat using a gym plate, it shifts the weight towards the forefoot big toe region. This drives more pronation of the foot. This cue is ideal for folks with high foot arches. When one elevates the heels with the squat wedge or lifting shoes, it shifts the weight towards the hindfoot heel region. This drives more supination of the foot. This cue is ideal for folks with collapsed and flat foot arches. Again, the nuances and physics of the above will be discussed in a separate future video. And now let's compare the barbell back squat with the pendulum squat. Who invented the pendulum squat? Is it Tyler Hobson? I'm not sure about this, and let me know the answers in the comment section below. When compared to a barbell back squat, the pendulum squat is a lot more stable, and taking sets close to failure is possible without near-death experience. Pendulum squat reduces the stress on the shoulders and elbows because you're not grabbing a frickin' barbell, and there is a frickin' back support and handles for assistance.
What's worse than breakup?
This is the moment arm in the shortened, mid and lengthened position. Fun fact, pendulum squat offers more torque in the shortened position and lesser torque in the lengthened position. But it offers torque throughout the range of motion, unlike barbell back squat, which loads the mid to lengthened range and offers zero torque in the shortened position. Since the back is glued to a frickin' pad while performing the pendulum back squat, the fatigue on the back is lesser, and also the knee torque is significantly higher, which fatigues the goddamn quads faster in comparison to a barbell back squat. Hence, it might be 0.01% better for quad hypertrophy in comparison to a barbell back squat. And note that pendulum squats lower your booty too. And the stretch maxing, the stretch mediated hypertrophy has been debunked long back, and this puts a blow on Mr. Milo's scam business. And here are freaking two studies that support my rebuttal. Both these studies concluded that there is no freaking difference in muscle hypertrophy, and the goddamn people who gaslighted their freaking audience based on the stretch mediated BS can go fuck themselves. The nuances that are mentioned about the postural issues and the foot mechanics with respect to barbell back squat applies to pendulum squat too, and do not break your freaking head around it. Honestly, any form of squat is great for adductor meatiness and good, but the adductor machine or cuff cable adduction reigns supreme. If your gym does not have fancy equipment, do perform sumo squat to wreck your adductors. My village gym has a shitty squat rack but a decent rusty pendulum squat machine. So me being a 40-year-old unk with a lot of postural issues and joint pain, I prefer pendulum squat over the shitty barbell back squat that's in my freaking gym. And also folks, the squat rack in my gym has a shitty bar. It lacks safety, so rather safe than sorry. I have super long femurs, and the pendulum squat machine feels less self-destructive, and I personally feel that the best quad adductor booty builder in one go is a regular split squat with a barbell, and the safety is on so that you can fail your goddamn sets. I hope this message sinks in, and until then, peace out.
देखिए एक तो बेसिक ट्रिक है, एक तो लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए महाकाल का दबाकर लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए 5000 लौटे दिख जाना चाहिए। ये 4000 के लिए मैं यहाँ पे नहीं खड़ा हूँ, पूरा साल मेहनत करता हूँ आपके लिए बेटा। ऐसा नहीं चलेगा, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा। लाइक ठोकी दबा के, लाइक ठोकी। यहाँ पे देखिए ऐसा क्वेश्चन चुटकी बजाते